Hey, what's up, Round Guys family? How y'all doing? It's Taco Tuesday. We're here to do it again, right? Chef Phil back at it. That's what we're gonna do here. First thing, of course, shameless plug. Mango kiss off. It's a thing. We did that. You're welcome. It's delicious. Try some. It's also blood orange bumblebee. That's also really ridiculous. And bumblebee wheat. That's a thing. Which another thing to think about. Gab Guma, Damon, my guys. I got some guests coming. Got another guest, Eric. He's from the resident artist in residency, where he's doing the Headway Art Collective. He's going to be doing a thing with us. We're trying to talk like some live painting. We've been missing out on the coloring for a while. We're trying to bring it back. We're going to do it in a cooler fashion. So we're going to do some art. That's pretty cool. Which, hey, talking about art, what time is it? Taco time. And that's what I do. I make tacos, and that's my art. So, yeah, we're going to get into it this week. This is a super awesome taco that, honestly, I love this thing to death. It's one of the best tacos I've ever had. It reminds me of being a kid. It's basically like a Carnitas taco. That's really what it is. So we did a beer brace with the mango. We got our mango. We got our mango pork. Oh, dude, I'm sure you all heard that at home. That's amazing. So we did, because you know what? We're here. We're doing all sorts of great stuff. We got beers and things. We're doing tacos and stuff. Let's try to combine it together. So that's what we did. So we got this super great mango puree Kiss Off, which Kiss Off's been around for, you guys know, a long time, right? It's a great beer, and it's just been a little bit of a tweak. So that's super cool. So we got that going on. So I wanted to celebrate that fact. So I came up with a recipe, and I'm thinking beer braise. We haven't done pork yet. The two of them kind of came together, and it's like, you know what? Time for some tacos. Tacos del Calle. That's what we got here. We got a new school twist on carnitas. So normally carnitas. So people who don't know this, man, carnitas go way back, way back. We're talking to the 1500s. So pig is like this whole cool thing. It wasn't a big thing that wasn't here in America because we didn't have it. So it got brought over here, and so now we have this whole new meat to cook. And that's the cool thing is, so the Europeans were taking this meat, this pork, and they were literally cooking it in itself. So we're talking about the legs, the back fat. You got the ham hocks, you got the belly, the ears. Every part of this pig is going into a stew, and they're cooking it with its own fat and the skin and everything else. And you're gonna get like some ear and some leg, and everything you can imagine is going into this, right? Because waste not, want not. So this animal has a lot of nutrition. That's what it was there for. It had all this thing in there. We're gonna take it. We're gonna use it. It's gonna be great. So Christopher Columbus brings the pig over. Cortez takes it from Cuba into Mexico. It's in the 1500s, 1521, I think. And Cortez celebrating that he's vanquished the Aztecs. He decides to cook this pig, which they're now doing. So they cook this pig this whole way, but they take over this new culture, this new society that they found, and they have this white corn and masa bread, which is basically what we're going to use tonight. We got our white corn right here. Super awesome. So they take this, masa bread and their cooked pork that they stewed in itself, and boom, Carnitas taco is born, literally. So that's literally where Carnitas comes from, way back. Now, if you ask anybody who is like really into street tacos and like Carnitas and all that kind of stuff now, where they say the birthplace of true Carnitas, the new style, what we're used to, the traditional style now, is Michoacan. So this is a Mexican version of what came over. Again, Cortez vanquished the Aztecs. They made, for the first time ever, Carnitas tacos. That was the thing. That's what they did. They celebrated it that way. So I basically did the same thing. So my recipe, I only use tenderloin. It's a really nice lean meat, but there's still some fat in there because you want the fat. Fat is great. Fat is flavor. We're always talking about adding butter. You don't see me adding butter this week. I don't need to. There's already all that fat in there. We got all the oil and everything from it. So it's super great. Now what I'm doing is I'm heating this back up in its broth, which is its own fat, as well as the beer that we use, that mango kiss off, which is delicious. You got to come in, check it out. It's a great thing. Hey, we got Wing Wednesdays happening. That's a thing now. So, let's come in. We got different sauces. Check it out. See what's going on. As well as, hey, you guys at home, you've been seeing me doing this for a while. You're checking me out. We got outdoor seating. We got indoor seating. I make a lot of tacos every week. There's always extra now. So, maybe stop by, see what we're doing, pick up some beer, maybe get a free taco. I don't know. So what I'm doing though is, so I already cooked mine. I did mine as an oven roast. Now I kept mine at 225 like the recipe calls for, but I did mine at, I want to say about 10 hours. I just let this really just cook and cook and cook. Now, depending on how small of a piece that you cut this down into, because you should have cubed it into like small quarters, like about a 1 inch. You can go to 3/4 inch or whatever else. So depending on what size tenderloin that you picked up and how you cubed it out, the smaller pieces, they're going to cook faster. I did the 1 inch pieces, and I really just wanted to let this go and go and go. Here's the deal. When you get to that 225, that's when all of the fibers start to break down, all of that connective tissue. So all of that meat just wants to start to break apart. Now, here's the deal. In the recipe, it also told you, once you're done with it, you have to pull it and cool it. You don't want to pull the meat apart. You literally just want to pull it out of the oven and be done with it. Now, here's the reason behind that. So if you get done cooking this, right, you go and just start pulling it right away. You see all this amazing steam coming out. You're like, oh, my gosh, look how much moisture is in here. This is so great. This is so juicy. All that steam is all the moisture. It's all the juice. It's now just dried out. It's 7, 8, 10-hour piece of art you've been working. So I let mine go. I literally pulled it out, let it sit for about an hour to cool down, put it into my refrigerator as is in the pan, did not change anything. I wanted everything to kind of congeal, set up, come back together, let the fats play with each other. Because that's the thing is, you're cooking this in its own juices. Yeah, we added some beer to it to add some more liquid, some more flavor. Because that's the thing is, in the beer we got some sugar, we got some flavors from all that. Especially with the mango puree, we definitely got some more. Which is why I also did non-traditional. So I did the salsa verde. We made a salsa verde. That's what you guys did. Tomatillo and jalapenos and all that good stuff. But I did it slightly different. I added the lime and I put a lot more cilantro. But that's because I'm trying to mix it with the mango aspect. So we're doing that like kind of a sweet. We got lots of sugar. We added some lime juice because, as I'm always telling you, we're adding that lime juice. We're cooking it up, caramelizes. When we do that, it changes the flavor profile, gives you a whole new component to what you're doing. So I'm actually reheating this back in its own juices, like I was saying, but I'm now actually like pulling it. I'm smashing it out. So I'm getting into these nice strains, which now, so normally if we would be doing like true traditional carnitas, which means we're cooking basically the whole pig and all these different pieces, we're searing it off into a copper pot and taking it over, cooking it to another copper pot and letting it go for a few hours. And then, we're basically done. But then we take all those hot, great, falling apart pieces and we start to like actually slice them up together, going against the grain so that we get a really nice tender cut so that everything comes out super juicy, super great texture. You want all the right pieces to be the right way. And this is, carnitas to me is like the epitome of what a taco is supposed to be. Now the cool thing with this is, now normally you'd be like lettuce and cheese and whatever else. We're going to be putting on onion, cilantro, a little bit of this lime cilantro, because again, I want to have all that stuff put together with this lime cilantro verde, and a little bit of lime itself. So we're just getting some super basic flavors from all this stuff, but we're putting them all together. And that's what's great about all this. So I'm basically, again, just heating this all up, pulling it while I'm doing it, bringing it back up to temperature. All of, again, that fiber, all that connective tissue, that stuff's already been broken down. I just didn't separate it because I wanted all that liquid to stay in there. I put it back into the fridge to get the flavors to melt together. You get some of that liquid to pull back into it, the whole deal. So now I'm just sitting here doing this. I threw a little bit of oil in my pan because I'm cooking this with its own fat. I want to use an oil. I don't want to use a butter this time. I actually want to use an oil. Which I know you guys hear me week after week. Butter, 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 butter. This is carnitas. Carnitas, we want oil. Salsa verde, we want oil. That's another thing. So the salsa verde, when we made the salsa verde, in the instructions, it told you that you basically want to boil off all the vegetables. Then you want to finish off with the rest of the ingredients. Emulsify and re-oil it. And the whole purpose behind doing that with that extra oil in there and that re-oil is because what's happening is all of that stuff is coming together. That oil is an emulsifier. It brings it all together. It makes everything just be the way it's supposed to. It gives it a little bit of color. We're going back into that caramelization again. Same thing when we're breaking down with those sugars and everything else. When we add the other components, so we get a second cook or a third cook or a refry or all these other things, now all of a sudden, all those flavors come out. We get the texture we're looking for. Everything's supposed to be what it's supposed to be. And I don't know if you can really see this at home. This is getting thicker and thicker and thicker because what's happening is I'm starting to cook off some of that juice. So we're leaving all that fat behind. So all the liquid's coming out. So we're steaming out that liquid. But as I'm pulling this, all of that pork is pulling in all of that fat, all that oil, all that juice, all those extra flavors from all the other components of what we did here. And this is going to make for an amazing pulled pork component to make these carnitas tacos that we're doing right now. Which, I mean, this is absolutely ridiculous. I think I'm pretty much done at this point. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to start doing my my tortillas, right? Because here's the deal. Again, these are street tacos, so we're not doing flour this week. We're doing white corn, masa corn. We're doing white corn tortillas. And again, that's traditional. You know, they have white corn, they have masa, so they made all their breads from that. You know, we have typically up here yellow corn, so we use yellow corn. That's an American thing. But we're going to use white corn tortillas, and I'm actually going to use a little bit of oil in another pan, and we're going to, because talk about cooking up those other tortillas, the flours, right? We toast those a little bit, changes the flavor profile, gives us some more texture. It adds to the overall presence of that taco. So we're gonna do the same thing, We're gonna do it with our corn. So that's just really gonna bring all this together. Honestly, it will. The corn itself being almost bland and simple, it's okay because we have all these other flavors. So that corn is really just a heartier component. And again, it's something that's readily available, which is what they use. So cool. All right, let's make some room so I can start popping all this stuff out. This is so great. We're so close to doing this. And again, remember, guys, I'm making a lot more of these things now lately. So maybe come by and see us. At least come by, check us out. Wing Wednesday, that's a thing. Again, we're going to be doing some pretty cool interviews coming up. We got podcasts that are starting to happen. Total shift, right? We got a whole lot of cool things going on. Marcus. Oh, we dropped a bunch of stuff. Yeah, we got another podcast with Marcus Soul. That's going to be from it's just here's the thing. Check us out. Brown Guys Brewery, right? We're always doing new stuff. Artists in the Residency, Wednesday Instagram. Check that stuff out. Oh my gosh, there's so much. You saw this plate. There's so much food. I dropped some. It's okay. Well, I'll probably eat it. I'm a horrible person like that. Go ahead, judge me. It's Carnitas. I don't care. So that's great. Yeah, check us out, man. Again, Artist in Residency. We got all sorts of stuff going on. Total shift. We're looking to add some more stuff to what we're doing here. We got Wings on Wednesday. We got Artist in the Residency. Black is Beautiful. That's another collab that we just finished up. I mean, of course, we have also our standard amazing beers that we're doing as well. Which time for a beer break. That was delicious. All right, so I'm gonna go ahead and heat up my pan, and we're gonna toast up some of these tortillas, which is super cool. Because all right, so here's the deal. Little known story about Phil. Phil grew up outside of Los Angeles. Phil was raised on truck tacos. Yeah, that's the thing. Everybody's like, oh, we get tacos from a truck. Yeah, when I was a kid, that's all I ever got taco with. It wasn't in a restaurant. It was off of a truck. I moved out here to the East Coast, and it's like, hey, we're going to go get Mexican food. We go to the restaurant. It's like, wait, they have tacos here? So they have restaurants that do tacos? It wasn't just enchiladas or whatever else? No. Tacos do not just come from a truck, even though it wasn't from a truck or the best tacos ever. Because that's the thing. They're really a street taco. Street tacos are super simple, super easy. Because that's the thing is, you're out on the street. You have like this little itty bitty cart. You have this, small flat top where you're doing your meat off to the side to keep it warm. You got another small spot where you're going to be doing your tortillas to warm them up and all that kind of stuff. And it's street tacos. That's the thing. They are delicious. So I'm basically going back to my childhood on this one, which is super great. Which is why I love it. This is like my most favorite day. I've been excited about this for over a week now. Can't even imagine. So I'm just heating up the pan. I put just a little bit of oil because again, this is how we're going to do it on the street. Butter is a specialty back in the day. It really was because it was cream that was salted, churned in, it was procedure, it was this whole thing. Oil is something you can get from pretty much anywhere. You're getting it as lard or whatever else. So oil is no big deal. So oil was the thing they used back in the day. Corn oil, especially again, you got that white masa, so you can do all that kind of stuff. So that's what they use. It's cheap, it's easy, but it's amazing and they're ridiculous. And I can't wait to have them. So I'm gonna go ahead and start like toasting these things up. It's gonna be ridiculous. I got Mr. Bill here with me as usual. He's a taco guy too, so I know he's just as excited for these as I am. It's a great thing. I actually had some friends stop by, check us out, see what we're doing. I'm gonna make them some tacos. I'm also gonna, hook them up with. They got some beers and whatnot.
You want them to wait?
It's a great thing. I mean, they can if they want, but they might not. Who knows? And Mr. Bill just asked me. It's like, hey, you guys want to wave? I don't know. They're all the way in the back there. They're not even paying attention, so that's okay. But hey, that's cool. So again, I got friends that come out. You guys are my family, so you should come out, get some beer, get some tacos, come see us. Again, Wing Wednesday, super awesome. Oh, look at these. These are great. I wish I had a fork. That would be a great thing right about now.
Yeah.
But that's all right. We're just kind of flipping them back and forth. We're making sure we got enough oil in the pan because that's the big thing. As long as we got oil in the pan, I'm just going to go ahead and use this guy. That's all right. So as long as we got enough oil in the pan, the tortilla is not going to stick, which is great. So that's the thing is the white masa itself has so much moisture in it that just the fact of putting it back up on the grill with, again, the oil, because it's, it's going to keep it from sticking, we can actually like toast these up a little bit. And that's super amazing, super awesome. It's going to have a nice little flavor because we're probably using oil from, the pig or whatever else. Because again, this is a Carnitas taco. We're using all of that animal, which is super great. There's plenty of people out there where it's like, hey, do this, that, whatever, lifestyle choices. If you're doing your thing, that's super cool. Look at that. Ask and you shall receive. So that's super cool. All right, so we're gonna put that spoon aside. We're gonna throw a little bit more oil in here, get some more tortillas done. So now, another thing is so normally, like I'm always talking about, we use our eyes, right? So when you see me every week when I do the flours, when I toast them up, I basically fold them so I make them look all nice. Because we're doing street taco style, this is what I'm doing now is basically I'm gonna do open face style, and the reason being is because it just looks better. It's all about presentation, right? It takes up more space. Plus the corn is a little bit smaller. And I mean, honestly, normally when you get your tacos, you're basically getting handed to you on like a piece of paper with your tortilla, your meat, and then you either pull off to the side, maybe throw some like chili relleno or some onion or whatever you're into, or whatever salsa you're trying to put on it, all that kind of stuff. Turn the heat down. But so we're basically re-steaming these and also crisping them up a little bit. And it's going to, again, just like we do with the flour, it's a little bit about the taste, the texture. It's changing everything. It's adding all that together. I'm going to turn that off and push it away because I don't want to, get myself up and catch on fire. Plate one of these guys up for you. But again, like I said, I'm going to do open face, which means that literally it's just wide open. I'm going to take some of this Carnitas here. Oh my goodness. Oh my, I cannot wait to eat these tacos. You at home, if you made these tacos, I have no idea how well they came out. I hope they came out as well as mine look. These things are going to be insane. I have not had good Carnitas tacos in a long while. I'm sure most of us haven't. Well, if you keep your recipe tonight, hopefully you have a really good Carnitas right now. So we're just going to throw, again, about an ounce, ounce and a half. That's the appropriate amount of protein. You don't want really too much more than that. If you want to, hey, cool. But, just typical. And then we're going to throw a little bit of some diced onion. I just used a white sweet onion, nothing crazy. Nothing special. But get that little bit of onion. All right. And where did my cilantro go? Never mind. I found it. I moved it on myself. That's what happens when you don't have any help other than Mr. Bill. He's got to do his own thing. And then a little bit of that cilantro, which we diced up earlier, which is super great. Oh my gosh, that stuff looks amazing. And now, normally you would kind of put your sauce on there too, which we're going to do, which again is that lime cilantro. And oh, dude, look at that. Look at that. We're literally just going to take this, which this is hot. So by the way, when you're doing your salsas, when you made this, so you cooked it and you cooled it. Once you cooled it, you should be reheating this when you go to serve it. The reason being is once you go to heat it, all those flavors come out. You really get all of that, like the roastedness out of it. I mean, all the fact that you've been sitting there cooking it and doing your thing. And I mean, look at this. This is tacos del calle. It's three tacos, Carnitas. They're a slight variation, a little twist, but you know what? I did the heritage route. I hope it's going to be super amazing. I can't wait to eat these. Yeah, Carnitas. You just learned about them. That's a great thing. We're here enjoying each other as family, enjoying tacos, and we got to learn a little bit tonight. So that was super cool. Friends came out. Hopefully next week we'll get some more friends. Mr. Bill is here. We got some great tacos. Mango kiss-off, artist in residency, total shift. I mean, check us out. We got tons of stuff coming. Lots of new guests.